A girl with small breasts is more because she is proof that beauty, power, and confidence are not defined by size or shape but by presence, energy, and the way she carries herself through the world. She is more because she embodies authenticity in a culture that constantly pressures women to conform to unrealistic standards that are often set by industries that profit from insecurity. She is more because when she walks into a room, she brings with her something far greater than physical proportions. She brings her thoughts, her laughter, her ambition, her compassion, and her strength. A girl with small breasts is more because she does not need to hide behind an image to be seen. She is already visible in the way she treats others, the way she shows up when life challenges her, and the way she builds a life that is grounded in self-acceptance. She is more because she can remind the rest of us that true confidence does not come from what you are given by genetics but from the decision you make every single day to embrace yourself as you are. She is more because when society whispers that she should want more, she answers with the quiet but powerful truth that she already is more. She is more because she is free from the weight of comparison and instead chooses the lightness of self-love. She is more because she represents every woman who has ever doubted herself for not fitting into a mold and shows that the mold itself was never real to begin with. She is more because the strength of her character outshines any label. She is more because the world cannot diminish her worth by attaching it to a body part. She is more because she can lead, inspire, and create in ways that have nothing to do with size. She is more because her confidence radiates from the inside, and that kind of confidence is unshakable. She is more because she shows us all that our value is never measured by comparison, it is measured by authenticity. She is more because she has the courage to stand in front of the mirror and love what she sees, not because it is what the world told her to love but because it is hers. She is more because her story is not about what she lacks but about what she has gained through resilience, perspective, and strength. She is more because she proves that the most magnetic energy in any room is not perfection but presence. She is more because she does not live for approval, she lives for truth. She is more because she embodies the message every woman needs to hear. You are not less because of how you look, you are more because of who you are. Confidence is not defined by body size but by self-acceptance, because the foundation of confidence has nothing to do with physical proportions and everything to do with the way you choose to view yourself when you stand in front of a mirror. When a person walks into a room and commands attention, it is not because of the measurements of their body but because of the energy they project, the ease they carry, and the certainty in their own presence. Confidence radiates when you are not apologizing for who you are, when you no longer try to shrink or reshape yourself into a version that pleases others, and when you decide to own every part of yourself, even the ones society has told you to hide. The truth is, body size, breast size, or any external measurement is simply a detail, and details are never what makes someone unforgettable. What makes someone unforgettable is the way they laugh without holding back, the way they share their ideas boldly, the way they lift others up when they need support, and the way they refuse to abandon themselves even when pressure to conform is heavy. When you define confidence by appearance, you hand your power over to a world that thrives on comparison and judgment. But when you define it by self-acceptance, you take that power back. Self-acceptance is radical because it is the refusal to treat yourself as a project in need of constant improvement, and it is the choice to see your body not as a problem but as the home that carries you through life. People often mistake confidence for perfection, but perfection is fragile because it can shatter the moment someone points out a flaw. Real confidence is durable, because it is built on something no one can take from you, your relationship with yourself. If you decide that you are enough, then no comment, no standard, no advertisement has the ability to convince you otherwise. It's not your breast size or your shape that decides how people perceive you, it's the way you perceive yourself. If you walk into a conversation worrying about whether you measure up, that worry shows. If you walk in knowing that your worth is not up for debate, that knowing shows too. Self-acceptance turns into confidence because it creates a steady ground to stand on. It gives you permission to show up without editing yourself, to speak without hesitation, to dress for your comfort and not for approval, to live without waiting until you look a certain way. Confidence is magnetic not because of how someone looks but because of how someone feels about themselves, and when you feel at peace with yourself, people around you feel it too. The body may be the frame, but self-acceptance is the masterpiece inside that frame, and it is what makes every person stand out in a way that no size or shape ever could. Society profits from insecurities, but authenticity breaks the cycle, because the moment you begin to doubt yourself, there is an industry ready to sell you the illusion of fixing what was never broken. From advertisements that tell you your body is not enough to magazines that promote one narrow version of beauty, the world is full of messages designed to make you feel like you are lacking. Insecurities are not accidents, they are carefully cultivated by systems that thrive on convincing people that happiness, confidence, and worth can be purchased in a product, a procedure, or a promise. This cycle continues because the more you believe you are not enough, the more you spend your time, energy, and money trying to become someone else. It is a trap that turns self-doubt into profit, and as long as you buy into it, the cycle never ends. Authenticity is what shatters that pattern, because when you stand in your truth and accept yourself as you are, the game no longer works. When you no longer measure yourself against a standard that was manufactured to sell you something, you begin to see that nothing about you needs to be altered to deserve respect, love, or confidence. Authenticity is radical because it removes the power from external forces and brings it back inside of you. It says that your worth is not a sales pitch, it is not conditional, it is not dependent on whether you match a trend. It is yours, and it has been yours since the beginning. When a girl with small breasts chooses to love her body, she challenges a billion-dollar industry that has been telling her she needs more. She becomes a living contradiction to every message that insists she is incomplete without enhancement. By choosing authenticity, she is no longer a consumer of insecurity, she is a creator of confidence. Her presence says to others, you do not have to play this game either. That choice is powerful, because every time someone stands in authenticity, they give permission for others to do the same. The cycle of insecurity is not only expensive, it is exhausting. It drains joy, it drains focus, it drains the ability to fully live in the moment, because your mind is always calculating whether you measure up. Authenticity lifts that weight, because it allows you to show up without apology or disguise. It does not mean ignoring the true presence comes from energy, character, and mindset, because the impression you leave on people is rarely about how you look and almost always about how you make them feel. Presence is not determined by the shape of your body or the size of any one feature, it is determined by the spark in your eyes when you talk about something that excites you, the way your posture communicates that you are comfortable in your own skin, and the way your voice carries conviction when you speak. You can meet someone who appears to have all the physical traits the world glorifies, but if their energy is closed off or their mindset is rooted in insecurity, their presence feels small. On the other hand, you can meet someone who does not fit conventional ideals at all, and yet the room feels different the moment they walk in, because their presence is undeniable. Energy is magnetic because it is honest, and people are drawn to honesty. When you are genuinely yourself, your energy relaxes those around you, it invites connection, it makes others feel like they can be real too. That has nothing to do with the external and everything to do with the internal. Character deepens that presence, because the way you treat people lingers longer than the way you look when you enter a space. People may forget an outfit, a hairstyle, or a body shape, but they do not forget kindness, integrity, or the way someone made them feel seen. That is why presence lasts beyond the moment, it attaches itself to memory through the impact of character. Mindset is the third part of presence because it shapes everything else. If your mindset is focused on lack, you carry the energy of lack. If your mindset is focused on possibility, you carry the energy of possibility. People sense it without needing to be told, because mindset radiates in tone, expression, and behavior. A confident mindset does not come from perfection, it comes from acceptance and the decision to value what you bring to the table. When you carry that decision into every interaction, your presence is elevated beyond appearance. When a girl with small breasts walks with self-assurance, her presence is strong because it is rooted in energy, character, and mindset. She does not need to alter herself to expand her presence, because presence cannot be purchased, sculpted, or measured, it is created from within. A powerful presence is not loud, it does not demand, it simply exists in a way that others cannot ignore. It draws attention not by begging for it but by embodying authenticity. Presence built on energy, character, and mindset is unshakable, because it cannot be taken away by criticism, comparison, or passing trends. It grows the more you commit to showing up as yourself, and it becomes a force that outshines any external measure of beauty or value.